So chapter 18 talks about credit fundamentals. We're going to talk about what credit is, consumer credit, some benefits, and also some disadvantages, some key points to keep in mind as we go through this lesson. So again, we did not participate in that stock. Hopefully we took that test last week. If you did not notice, that test does have a retake. So let's say if you did not do as well as you had hoped, you could go back, review the material. Remember, it is an open note test, so you could have your Google Notes open from the assignments from Canvas from chapter 19, have those open and retake that test. Okay? So there are, you get 2 shots at that exam. Moving along though, we're gonna go ahead and talk chapter 18, which talks about credit. So what is credit? Credit is simply a loan, right? And using somebody else's money, right? Is the definition for credit, right? When you use credit, you become the debtor. You owe somebody, even if it's just an IOU. Hey man, can I borrow $20? Can you let me hold $20 till next week? That's credit, right? It's credit between 2 friends or maybe acquaintances, 2 people. It's not necessarily a credit card, but it's still credit. One is the creditor and the other is the debtor. The person that gets the money is the debtor, that has the debt, is the debtor, and then the creditor is the one that is lending out that credit, right? The person loaning out that money. So some different types of credit. There is what we call trade credit. So that's something that 2 businesses may have an agreement where they might do some trading or offer some credit amongst each other. So if I'm purchasing a bunch of goods from a supplier, from my supplier, I might have, say, 30 days or 60 days, maybe even 90 days to pay those without any kind of interest. Or maybe, without interest or too much interest. Usually, you can't just start a business and say, hey, I'm gonna borrow this money, I'm gonna buy a bunch of stuff and then I'm gonna turn around and sell it and I'll pay you in 30 days. Typically, there needs to be, just like with individual credit, there needs to be some kind of reference or some other sort of collateral there to make sure that I'm going to get paid in the end, right? So loan credit is the other type of credit that we talk about. So business and consumer borrow money, and we are going to pay that back at a later date with interest, right? There's a contract. It is also called installment credit because you are making installment payments back to the creditor. One example would be a car loan, right? When you take out a car loan, there's a set number of payments that you are going to make that payment or that pay that money back with interest, right? You're going to pay X number of dollars every month for the next X number of months. Would be a loan credit. And then your sales credit, these are when you're, this is like your credit card type of thing, where you're buying something. It's a consumer. I go to the store, we put it on, you might have heard of putting it on one's tab. Okay? This is that type of thing, right? I'm not collecting from you now, but I'm going to keep record of that. Okay? I'm going to basically loan you that, float you that money, and then I'm going to keep record, and at some point in time, I'm going to come and collect on that. Like I said, there are some advantages, some disadvantages, right? Some of your biggest advantages, if you don't have the money right now to make that purchase, credit allows us to make that purchase. Some disadvantage, I'm sorry, I thought we were going to go with advantages first, but since it's first on the note, disadvantages can lead to overbuying. It can lead to some careless buying, some frivolous buying. Buying on credit often costs more because there are fees associated, maybe not necessarily for you as the consumer, but if I'm a store and I take credit, there are fees associated with that to where I'm paying 2% from the money that I'm actually getting. So I might push that off on you in general, or I might do a 2% surcharge. Used to be at the gas stations, you had to tell it, right? Whether you were doing, used to be at the gas station, if you paid cash, it was one price. If you paid on a credit card, it was a different price. They charged you 2% more in order to cover those fees associated with processing the credit card payments. Okay. So advantages, it is super convenient, right? I can whip out that credit card, swipe it, and on I go. A lot of times nowadays, I can go to the store. It's a lot easier. I don't even have to touch anything. I just hold it's a contactless card. So it's super convenient, right? I don't have to worry about taking money out of my wallet, giving it to somebody, taking change back. Who knows what they have on their hands? Money is filthy dirty. It collects all kinds of stuff. Anyways, like I was saying earlier, immediate possession. When I could buy something, right? I could save up and put for a TV. I could save money every week and put it in a little candy dish, and then at the end of a whole bunch of weeks, I could go out and buy my TV. I could, or I could whip out my credit card and swipe it. I get my TV instantly. I could use store credit, but the point is that you get immediate possession of that good or service. You don't have to wait to save. You could potentially get some savings if you were allowed to buy it on sale, because you have the convenience of, I'm going to buy it now instead of waiting. Even if you don't have the cash now, there could be a special sale that allowed you to save some. So when you purchase on credit, it does help build your credit rating, right? So one of the things that your credit rating is built on is borrowing money and paying it back. If you have a history of borrowing money and paying it back, then people are more likely to lend you money because they can look at your history and say, oh yeah, they've paid back all of their loans. They've never had a case where they've defaulted on or not paid money back. So buying things on credit and establishing that good credit is worthwhile. And then sometimes you just have to, right? It's probably not the shoes that I gotta have, right? These are not for your wants. But when we talk emergencies, we're talking you got a flat tire and so you need a new tire right now. You don't have time to wait 3 weeks to save the money to buy the new tire. When my water heater went out last winter, I needed a new water heater now. I did not have time to wait to save money in order to buy it. I needed it now. I wanted a hot shower, not a cold. So those are times when credit, there are advantages to credit, right? To borrowing that money. So you've got a couple of different types of charge accounts. You have your regular charge accounts, which the full payment is due in 30 days. Budget account, so you can charge maybe up to $100, and then every month you're paying that $100 off, right? And then revolving accounts, this is pretty much what we are working on, is revolving credit accounts. You have to make these are your credit cards. You have to make some payment every month, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the full payment what you charge. You're going to charge, or you can only charge X amount of dollars, right? You've got a certain amount that you can charge, and you can pay that then off over time. You are paying interest on a finance charge and interest on the money that you are borrowing beyond the 30 days if you don't pay it off. So you've got a couple of different types of credit cards, right? You have your bank cards, the bank, where the bank pays for the sale, and the bank charges that, what I was talking about before, that charge to the retailer, and then you pay the bank back. This is your Visa, MasterCard, or a particular, Capital One card, and they're paying that making that charge for you and paying that, and then you pay them back. There is a credit limit. Sometimes there are annual fees involved with a credit card, okay, depending on, and then that should factor into your decision making whether or not that is worth it for you. And there can be some rewards. Discover offers cash back. Capital One offers some protections and cash back. Okay. Black Card, annual fee, absolutely. You pay a little bit to have that privilege. Amex, American Express, yes. Okay. When we talk about affinity cards are cards it's like a brand loyalty, right? That's what affinity means. We like something. Okay? So an affinity card, somebody has partnered with a bank to offer that credit card. So it might be Southwest. Southwest, and that's a specific card that we're going to talk about here in a minute, but Southwest has a credit card with Visa, right? That's a Visa card. You buy the Southwest Visa card, you get some points, some those reward points that we were talking about before, and Southwest gets a little cut of those fees, and then whoever Visa, Chase gets the rest of those. Travel and entertainment cards. So there are some specific, there's a Diners Express, it's an entertainment card. This American Express Black or Platinum, those are going to be very extremely high annual fees with no credit limit. So your average person is not having these kinds of cards, basically what we're saying. And then your retail, your Kohl's, your Pennies, maybe a gas station. Shell has a card. These are going to be your retail store cards. If you have no credit history, there is a good way is to buy a secured or a prepaid credit card. You get maybe you put in $200, and then you are allowed to spend that $200 in credit with a credit card. A little security deposit. It gives them the credit card holder some security, some peace of mind that you're going to pay that back. If they don't, then they're going to keep that security. If you have any questions, so you can pop in tonight. Today is Monday. So tonight I'll have office hours from 7 to 10. Wednesday, I will have office hours again from 1 to 4, and then Friday morning from 9 to noon. You can also email me or check out the video, whatever. But this week's assignment, today, tomorrow, or today and Wednesday's assignment, retake the chapter 19 test if you want, and then 18.1 notes. And then I will post another video for Wednesday, Friday on Wednesday. Toodles.